Hi. So today I wanted to talk about some boring stuff, like some really boring administrative stuff that you have to do when you get to a foreign place because, you need to survive. And so today I'm going to talk about how to set up your bank in Belgium. Fun stuff. I really hate anything administrative. It stresses me out. I often cry illogically in public places. This is how much I hate it. And so I wanted to make a video to help anyone who hates it as much as I do. Also, my hair is wet. I have a busy week. I've just started uni. Sometimes you have to prioritise. Everything's fine. I'm not falling apart. It's just I have a very tight schedule to keep to. I'll start from the beginning. Like the day that I arrived here, we decided that we would go to the bank and try and set up my account, which I would advise for you not to do. We took the metro. I don't know why we took a metro to the bank because there's one right around the corner, and we just waltzed in all casually, and I went up and I was put on my best French accent and I was like, I would like to open a bank account. And the guy turned around to me and he was like, identity, a proof of residency. And I was like, He says that I need to go to the local, they call it commune, but I think it's like a civic centre, to which he gave us an address. He told us where to go. When you first arrive, don't go straight to the bank. You need to go to the civic centre first. That would be my advice for you. Go to the civic centre first. Don't try just go and set up a bank account and expect them to let you do it, because they're not going to. We go to this address that's been given to us and we get there. And the building is under maintenance works. There is ground dug up, there's skips outside, it's boarded up with wooden boards, just stuff like that indicates that maybe this place isn't open anymore. And so we scout the perimeters trying to find a way in. There are multiple doors, but it's all kind of gated off. There's no access to the public. We spot some A4 pieces of paper just stuck up on this fence with sellotape, basically saying we've moved address, this is our new address, come here to sort out whatever. At this point I'm a bit stressed, just because all this stuff is such a drag anyway. The fact that it's so disorganised makes it so much worse. So then we go to this new address and we get there. The guy's like, what are you here for? I'm like, I want to get this form. The form is called L'Annex 19, which is the form that I was sent to get by the bank. Which is basically a form that proves that you're living here in Belgium. I ended up getting L'Annex 8, which is a proof of residency, but I couldn't work off it. But the woman told me not to bother going any further, this is all I needed to set my bank account, seeing I was only here till January. When my number got called out, I finally got to the desk. This woman basically handed me a form and ticked all of these things that I needed to bring. So there was something 5 copies of my passport photos, proof of insurance, proof of income, my Erasmus grant, proof of matriculation into the uni. I think it's best if you're just moving to a new place, the documents such as your letter of acceptance from the uni, your travel insurance, your Erasmus grant contract, and your passport photos. Make sure that you get multiple copies of these forms because they come up quite a lot. So when we figured out that I needed all this stuff, we had to go somewhere to print everything off. And so we had to find a print shop, so we googled that, got on the metro, went to this print shop where this man was really kind, really helpful. I printed out loads of stuff and luckily it was quite cheap. When I finally had all the stuff together, I went back to the commune. It was at something like 10:10 I got there, and I took a ticket from the machine and I waited there for ages, and the room smelled like sick. There was like loads of people there. I waited for an hour. I got to the desk, they finally called my ticket number out, and I said, like, I've got all my forms, I'm ready to get the Lennox D Snurf, I think I should be able to get it. And she was like, yeah, these forms look fine, but it says on this form right here at the top, we only issue these out between 9 and 10. This is a second visit to the commune. I'd sat and waited there for ages in a waiting room that smelled like sick, with loads of annoying kids in there. Like this, oh, it was so bad. So bad. So then the day after, I went back to the commune, my favourite place. I went back to it and finally managed to get this form from them. So after you've got the either the Lennox Wheat or Lennox D Snurf, you can take that to the bank. Woo. I have like mixed reviews about the bank here. In terms of customer service, they were really kind with me. They were really patient. My French isn't very good. He was willing to speak English, even though like I knew it was like he probably felt a bit uncomfortable doing so. I had a good experience with the bank. The only thing that I would stress is that you make sure that when you're filling in forms that contain your address or any kind of like essential information, like personal details, make sure that you have like an eye on what they're doing, because when there's like that language barrier, there can sometimes be some confusion. When I first went to the bank, I filled in the form. Everything seemed to be fine, and I was expecting my card to arrive within like 3 to 5 working days, and it never came. I decided I'd pop into the bank. So I went back in, I said, okay, I haven't got my card still. And she told me, don't worry about it, just wait till you get the text message. And it didn't come, so I had to go back to the bank again, and I explained that I'd been waiting all this time and that I think there'd been a problem with the verification process, and the guy thought that was really strange, and so he called his people. He called whoever he called, I don't know who he called. And basically what had happened was that he'd filled in my personal details wrong. He got confused about my address, something had gone wrong in the communication, he'd written the wrong, I think he'd written like the number of my flat twice, and this has basically caused a whole backlash and a whole delay in my verification process. Just like make sure that you're checking in situations like that where there might be a bit of a language barrier. That's what I would advise. Now everything's sorted. I've managed to transfer my money over from my English account, and yeah, everything's running relatively smoothly. I think it's best to just accept that not everything goes to plan here on your year abroad. Like, not everything can be as you expected it to be, as easy as you thought it was going to be. And so it's best to kind of let go of that illusion of control. Everything like this gets done eventually, and I think this experience has really helped me like not stress too much about stuff like that. Is that I haven't met anyone who has had so much trouble arranging this year abroad, and the administration and the logistics of the year abroad, that it didn't happen and that they couldn't do it. Like, everything gets done, and so don't stress too much about it. Obviously do it, and do it as well as you can and as proficiently as you can. Like, don't make it harder for yourself by leaving everything until it's too late, but at the same time, everything gets done eventually. You'll get there on your year abroad and you will sort all this stuff out and it'll be fine. I hope you found this helpful in some way. I know it probably wasn't the most interesting video, but sometimes life is not that interesting and sometimes we have to do really boring things, and like it or not, this is part of the year abroad as well. There's so many boring things that you have to do on your year abroad to make it work and to make it happen for you. So I hope that this helped to maybe get that boring process over with as soon as possible. That's it for this week. I have a lot of visitors coming up in the next month or so. I'm going to be very busy, so I look forward to sharing some videos about that. This weekend I am going to Paris actually, and so I'm super excited for that, and there will be a video on that next week. For now, I'll see you later and goodbye.